quiet. I'm saying like being meek. And it's what is a meek and quiet spirit? That's a lot of power for a person to have, a meek spirit. Knowing that he or she can take you out, but they won't do it. They control themselves.
That's right.
It's controlling. But people like to associate that with just weak. That ain't weak. You got a lot of people who can take you out, who can hurt you. But they just scale back. Go ahead.
And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
Now we understand. You got to crucify them things. Through the affection. Sometimes you be so affectionate with a person, man, they have you on the puppet, man. They have you on the string. Because they're playing off your feelings and emotions. They're playing off on them. That's why a pimp's so good at what he do. He practice on playing on the mind. That's all you got to do with a lot of people. Get the mind. The body will follow. Tell them something good. Tell them they look pretty. Tell them all this stuff. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too. Tell them he's handsome. Tell them he's strong. You so strong, but I wish I had a husband like you. Yeah, baby, I'm strong. Yeah. Sit right here, boy, she gonna get you. Playing on your emotions and your affections. When your guard down, you got to sacrifice that to stay into what God said, which is the law, walk by the Spirit. Everybody want to be told something good, don't get me wrong. But you got to have this word to decide between Satan and his followers. What would you sacrifice now? You got to sacrifice all this in order to get to the prize, which is the kingdom. You feel with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Let me show you how serious Jesus said this affection is, this lust is. How he said deal with it. This lust and affection, this stuff is real serious. It can cause you your life. And now ain't nobody telling you to walk around here being hard, like you can't be smiling. No, it's controlled. You control it. Be nice. He said be meek, long-suffering, joy, meekness, kindness. That's what you're supposed to do. So you got to have a balance with this. Balance. Let me show you how serious this lust is, what God is talking about. Because he wants us to sacrifice this now for the future with him. Verse 26. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the ultimate father. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
See, in the old time, he said, you get called to commit adultery in the old time. Back in Moses' day. But now, this time, God looks in the mind. And he'll show you what he's talking about. Go ahead.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her has committed adultery with her already in his heart.
That's powerful, man.
It is.
You looking at that woman you lusting for, you taking her to bed. This ain't telling nobody that you can't admire a woman's beauty. That's a difference. But when you took that woman's beauty and you put her in the bed with you done committed adultery, especially if you married. And we all did it who married now. Don't say you ain't. You lying. Go ahead. Oh yeah, shoot, I ain't no playing no game with this. 29.
And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out.
Now he telling you about the eye. A long time ago I thought, oh, this is metaphorically speaking. No, this is literal.
No.
If you can't control yourself, you need to go ahead and cut them limbs off. If you can't control your hand on raping a woman, you can't control your hand on molesting a child, you need to cut it off. But folks said, nah, man, you being serious. You show what Christ said, keep going.
And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee.
Yes, sir.
For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
You see that? Christ said, I'd rather you go in the heaven with one eye than being thrown in hell with both eyes.
That's right.
This is how serious this is. This is what he's trying to get you to see. If your eyes calling you to sin, called hell has no limitations of pain. No limitations. And you're going to let the eyes going to take you there? Go ahead.
And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off.
Talking about your hands, you can't keep your hand for something. Stealing. If you can't stop stealing, cut it off. In some of them old countries, they still practice this law. They cut your hand off. Go ahead.
And cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
He said, if your hand causes you to steal, touch, whatever, illegally, sinfully, cut it off. Cut it off. Because it's better for you to go into heaven instead of hell. Folks said, man, that's tight, Jim. Yeah. I ain't right. Ain't right. So I'm going to repent and joker. That's all that is. Repenting. Trying to find a way to put this information in my mind, because you're dealing with the world for 6 days, man. It's time for you to cut it off for a minute and get into this book and recharge. But we want to keep going in the world. Then when something come on, you want to cry. Something come up, you feel like, oh, I'm being abused or this and that. What the book say? You're going to be afflicted. You're going to go through all these trials and tribulations. Stop with all this childish stuff. Grow up in this book. When he said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. When you become a man, you start learning these scriptures and making sure that you follow them in your time of need. Instead of finding somebody who you can talk to and give all your burdens to. Man. Let's grow up. We're supposed to be Israel. We're supposed to be leaders. Let me show you something. Let's go to Job chapter 31. Job had a problem too, man. Let me show you what Job said about his eyes. He's talking on the same frame as Christ. Job 31. It's so simple now, boy, to get in stuff now with your eyes. You got that phone, boy. Woo! Or you know it's going to be popped up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Before you know, you're like, oh man, I'm all in it. Can't even turn from it. Already got it in your mind. See, I'm in between them generations. I'm old enough to understand what's going on. Like, in my day today, I'm young enough to understand what's going on in this day. I'm in between. Job 31. Let's see Job, man. Job was talking to God about his eyes. Verse 1. Go ahead.
I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid?
Job said, I made a covenant with my eyes. A maid is a woman. Virgin. Well, a woman. Let me just say a woman. Go ahead.
For what portion of God is there from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high?
Go ahead.
Is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity?
See, Job understands the destruction comes to the wicked, the ones that break in his law, the ones that walk in the flesh, the ones that don't have a covenant with their eyes. The covenant is the law. God tell you what you can and cannot look at. Like he telling a husband and a wife, if you sit up there lusting for this woman, you commit adultery. In your mind, you didn't even have to sleep with her. By your eyes. This is stuff you have to sacrifice, deny for. Go ahead.
Doeth not he see my ways and count all my steps? If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot has hastened to deceit.
He said, do you not he see my ways and count all my steps?
Yes.
He see through your eyes what you looking at. He see it. Well, what Matthew chapter 6 says about the prayer? He said, even if you pray, I already know what you pray for before you pray.
Come on.
How you know that? He looking in your head.
Hallelujah.
And we trying in our mind trying to figure out God through ourselves. We can't do that. We got to make sure we follow his steps. Because if we don't follow his steps, we're going to follow our steps. And our steps are going to get us in the lake of fire. We got to sacrifice this. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Let me be weighed in an even balance.
Yes, sir.
That God may know mine integrity.
Job said, let me be weighed in an even balance. Meaning that make sure he operating by his law. That's the balance. You balance by you operate in God's word, and then he go and open them books and say, okay, let's see what you did, Jeff. He give me a fair shot. He give me an open book test before judgment. He giving all us open book tests. So we can have an even balance at this time. Go ahead.
If my steps has turned out of the way, and mine heart walked after mine eyes.
He said, if my steps have turned out my way and my heart walking after mine eyes, that means you done turned away from God. You doing your own steps. You making your own way. I told you what he said, I read to you what he said. He said, whosoever act on saving their life, they're going to lose it. Meaning that this is my life. You hear people saying all the time, this is my life. Yeah, you're right. But your life better correspond to God's word, or you're going to lose it in the end. Go ahead.
And if any blot has cleaved to mine hand, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out.
Job telling God this, if I do these things with my eyes, then let me sow, meaning then let me work, and let somebody else eat what I work for. Then he said, then let my offspring be rooted, meaning kill my kids. That's right. Because ultimately, that's what you're going to do when you start breaking these laws. It's coming. Go ahead.
If my heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door.
There you go, coveting another neighbor's house. If your heart, meaning your mind, being deceived by a woman, she go in there and whisper them sweet nothings in your ear, and you fall for it. Job said, let this happen to me. Go ahead.
Then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her.
He said, let my wife be a hoe, basically. And let everybody else sleep with her, basically. Have her. Because he went out there and did something he was supposed to do, which is messing up with his eyes. And went to a level of committing adultery in his mind. He probably did. He was telling God this conversation, let this happen to me if I don't control myself. We got to sacrifice the now for the paradise. What would you sacrifice? Go ahead, you finished?
No, we got two more. For this is an hideous crime.
Heinous crime.
And yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges.
Me and Terry, just because I look, I ain't got to cover it with my eyes. This is a heinous crime. We didn't touch no woman. We just going in our mind. Let this happen to you. Go ahead.
For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction.
What fire is that?
Hellfire.
Yeah, exactly. For it's a fire that consumeth with destruction. Go ahead.
And would root out all mine increase.
That means everything that you work for in this life, it ain't gonna matter. Because you went away, because I went away. Anybody goes away from this book and don't sacrifice the now to get the greater good, which is in the kingdom, it ain't gonna mean nothing, man. It ain't gonna mean nothing now. You get a couple of oohs and ahs, look what she got, look what he got, look what he riding there, look what she riding there. And then you go back to being the same old person with that messed up mind. Let's go to Acts chapter 2. Let me give y'all another example of sacrificing. What would you sacrifice now? A lot of people won't sacrifice now. It's my life. I'm tired. This is my life. I do what I want to do, Jeff. I said, okay, yeah. Yeah. When you flip that switch on, let's come on. And man, you're going to throw you in there quickly. You got to sacrifice. What would you sacrifice? You can't sacrifice your life. Acts chapter 2, verse 44. This is the time when the children of Israel was supposed to be selling some land. And a couple of people didn't want to sell their part because they acted out of lusting for this money. I'm going to show you this, we're going to get to it. Acts chapter 2 and verse 44, go ahead.
And they continued,
44,
I'm sorry. And all that believed were together and had all things common.
Yes, sir.
And sold their possessions and goods and parted them to all men, as every man had need.
So at this time, Israel was coming together, and they were selling all their land, they were selling all their possessions, and they was making everybody equal in the land, giving everybody the same amount of money. And they brought it to the Levite to distribute. But they had somebody else, they had a husband and wife in there, y'all know them really good, Ananias and Sapphira, who didn't want to do it. They agreed to it, they made a vow to it, but when it was time to pay up their portion, they kept on back. Let's go to Acts chapter 5, verse 1. These people lose their life over this stuff. Man, yeah, what, a couple days ago, somebody got shot up there in Big Daddy's over something stupid. Always at that little club. And these people want to go to the club. Well, y'all hanging out in them clubs? Bull ain't got no name on it. They just shoot. Let's see what happened to these two people, individual, which was the husband and wife, they kept back their possession. Verse 1, go ahead.
But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privately to it, and brought a certain part, laid it at the apostles' feet. So
they when they sold all they stuff, you know, that's why a lot of times when you making a vow or a promise to God, don't be too excited. Calm your behind down and think. And a lot of people don't calm down when they start making, that's how a lot of times they do in these Sunday church. They get you so hyped and feeling good, they think, you know, you gave away your life, their money. Gave away all your money, now you got to go and ask somebody for it. But this time they got excited about what God was doing for Israel, and they said, we all gonna sell the land, and they agreed to it. When you make a covenant with God, He expects you to pay it all day. But they held back part of it, saying that, hey man, you know how it is. My land worth more than this, I give for $50,000, they give it worth $2. But you promised something, and God heard it. Go ahead.
But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Ghost and to keep back part of the price of the land?
That's one thing. How did he know? God told him through the Spirit. That's why I tell you, you ain't doing nothing private. Remember what they said? They did it privately. Privately, they thought it was private. No, it was open. God right there looking at you doing it. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Why it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God.
God was saying, it was yours. Why did you conspire to it? Why did you agree to sell it? If you didn't want to sell it, you don't want to give the money away, why did you do it? You can't be too excited when you're making these decisions. Because some people make decisions out of emotions, feelings, lust. all this stuff that God said control, crucify. We got to crucify that. And they made a big mistake and lied to the Holy Spirit. Let's see what happened to them. Go ahead.
And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things.
Now, he didn't just fall out like he fainted. God killed him on the spot. Killed him on the spot. Go ahead, he gonna tell you.
And the young men arose, wound him up, carried him out, and buried him.
If you faint, they ain't burying him now. Killed him on the spot, called what? And did something privately, and you agreed to God to say you're gonna do it. Go ahead.
And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in. And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much.
She had an opportunity right here to save her life. Women, don't fall out the husband doing something crazy. No, I can't do that. You know what's sinful? Don't do it. Because we all get in our flesh at one point in time or another. My wife had told me too many times, you know that's wrong with that. To correct me. Sometimes I listened, sometimes I didn't. And I paid for it when I did. Go ahead.
And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much.
You give her an opportunity, so all right, tell me now. Tell me the truth. Go ahead.
And she said, yea, for so much.
Lying.
Then Peter said unto her, how is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out.
Can you imagine somebody telling you that, and you just at the drop of a dime just die? He said, the same people that buried your husband gonna come and bury you too. And she dropped down and died. She died in her sin there. Died in her sin. He died in his sin. This is how serious it is when you don't sacrifice the now. When you think about money, 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 cars, 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 clothes, 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 people, 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 whatever it is above God. Nothing comes above him. He said, I'm a jealous God.
Yes.
I am jealous. He God, he the only one can be jealous. You know, got some people crazy enough to say, why we can't be jealous? He's jealous. You ain't God. Go ahead.
Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and healed up the ghost. And the young man came in, found her dead, and carried her forth, buried her by her husband.
Can't we kill them? Why? They couldn't sacrifice for God. They couldn't sacrifice that money. I had to sacrifice that money when I was a barber. Everybody knows barber, big day is Saturday, make money. When I learned this, I said, oh no, I can't do this no more. I was scared out of my mind. I was like, kind of scared to go. Like, man, my client's gonna leave me. I said, don't worry, I got you. I got you. I ain't this and that. Grew, I can't keep it all. My hands hurt. But this is the thing I'm trying to get you to understand. When you choose to go God's way, he'll make sure you handle it. He'll make sure he handle you the right way. Instead of letting other people push and pull you the way they want you to go. All right, now, you don't come outside. I'm go find another barber. I said, all right, go ahead. You replace 5 for you. Period. I'm just telling about my experience. When I chose him. A lot of people want to get out their job. They don't like the job. And God telling them not to work on the Saturday, but they ain't too scared to leave. Oh, I got a pension on there. Oh, I got all this retirement. Take your pension out, put it in your own IRA, and you control it. It's simple. But we got that slave mentality like, oh, I can't leave the company. They putting your money in the same stock market. It's nothing different. Educate yourself. You probably want to leave anyway. I don't know how I get on that, but let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1. Yeah. Let me show you why Ananias and Sapphira died. And some people say, oh man, that's so simple. No, it ain't. It's simple to you. It's simple to me. But it's very important to God. Very important. What would you sacrifice now for God. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God.
Keep your foot. Now, I mean, when you come in the house of God, you need to get your head right. Get your head right. Come in here to learn. Come in and absorb these scriptures as they're being read. Go ahead.
And be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil.
They're giving sacrifice to the fools, meaning that they're doing what the sinners are doing. We sacrifice for God right now. We come together on the Sabbath day. This Sabbath day is very important, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. This Sabbath day is pointing toward the future. When we over there in Jerusalem for 1,000 years, we hear appoint gods to run this whole country for 1,000 years. And for people to govern themselves by his law. He just showing you right now. He just testing out people, not testing, but he just seeing who's going to follow his law so he can set them up in their particular cities to run it. Or for you to be that one to get a second chance in flesh and blood, if you got some understanding. But he's telling you right here, sacrificing of food, don't be that way. Don't sacrifice food way. Food tell you you're going to lose something when you got God behind you. That's a fool right now. Go ahead.
Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God.
That's what I more so now am doing. Running my mouth. Stop running your mouth. He said, be not rash with your mouth, and let not thy heart, which is your mind, heart, be hastened to utter. Just say something without even saying it. Remember back in the day, you asked my kid, who left this right here? I ain't do it, I ain't almost say I ain't do it. I know, I mean, my wife can do it. Somebody did it. Just run their mouth, real rash. Somebody lying. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. Because God is writing everything down. He's holding us accountable. Let me show you how he holds us accountable. Go ahead.
For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few.
Stop running your mouth so much. Let it be few. Go ahead.
For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words.
Got so many words. The one, they always say the loud person in the room is what? The weakest. Talking. Go ahead.
When thou vows a vow unto God,
when you make a promise, or you going to do something unto God, go ahead.
Defer not to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. That means don't write a check that your behind can't cash. And I'm saying in a simple way. Y'all know the old way. Ananias and Sapphira wrote a check, and they cashed their life with it. They didn't sacrifice that little bit of money. And they want to hold on so much, that little bit of job, that little bit of sex, that little bit of fornication, that little bit of adultery, that little bit of stealing, that little bit of killing. They didn't want to sacrifice it. It's a vow, man. When you take a vow to God, you tell him you're going to do something. When you come out that water being baptized, he mean it now. He mean it. Go ahead. Verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow.
Better is it you don't promise something. Don't say you're going to do something. Go ahead.
Than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
You better pay it. Pay it. Whatever it is, whatever you told God you're going to do it. Go ahead.
Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
I told you about that check. Your mouth. My mouth. Go ahead.
Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of thine hands.
What did Peter say? Why did you lie to the Holy Spirit? Same exact thing. They lied to God's Spirit. God's Spirit killed them right then. This is what he's talking about to us. Trying to show us not to run our mouth so much. Be careful with what you say. Sacrifice your time to understand what to say. Just don't talk too much. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. See, God not just only looking at our action, He also looking at our mind. Our minds. Like I say, people can fake it till they make it. It ain't gonna be in a hill of beans at the end, because you will fake it.